There is something you need to know about me, and that is I am, I don't know, mildly obsessed with bags and jackets. The main reason I have so many is because I've never been able to find that one bag or that one jacket that pretty much does it all. So if you were to look into my closet, you're probably going to see a collection that pretty much borderlines insanity. Now this video is not about bags, but it is about a specific jacket, and I'm not gonna say that this is the one jacket that I'm going to be wearing all the time forever, but what I will say is that I've been wearing this same jacket every single day since I've gotten it over a month ago. I've worn this jacket around town when I'm running errands. I've worn this jacket when I went on my flights. I've worn this jacket when we've gone camping, and this was the jacket that I exclusively wore at the Southeast Adventure Vehicle Expo. And that jacket, the one I'm wearing right now, is the Teren Designs Campfire Puffy 2.0. If I'm being honest, this jacket wasn't even on my radar. Like, I had heard of Teren Designs before, but when I went on their site, the jacket to me didn't really stand out because I tend to gravitate towards jackets that look a little bit more utilitarian, and this looked a little bit too simple, at least for me. And then my friend Brad from Overlanderoos did a review on the Teren Designs pants, and when I watched that video, I saw the kind of tech and fabrics that they put into their clothing that it made me research more, reached out to Teren, and they sent this jacket to me to review. And I gotta say, like, I have loved it so much. See, here was my real selling point. This jacket became an all-around jacket because it will basically protect you from 4 different things. Number 1, this thing is super water resistant. You spray water on this and the water basically just beads and then like falls off. And what makes it great is that afterwards, you're not left with like a wet jacket. Even if you're dry, sometimes my other jackets are still wet, and so on the outside I feel all soggy and kind of nasty. Well, this pretty much just beads off and then you're back to a dry jacket before you know it. Second, this thing is also weatherproof, most specifically wind. We've been getting these huge gusts of wind that are like 20 miles per hour. That wind will slap you in the face and it feels really cold. Well, I've worn this jacket in those times with the hood on and I felt super comfortable. Third, this thing is also tear-proof. When we're out on the trails, I'm usually doing a lot of video work there where I have to get off the trail, kind of get into the woods a little bit. I'm going through things like bushes and branches, and all these things are snagging my jacket, and I'm glad to know that this is not going to tear because of that. Some of my other jackets, especially the really puffy, comfortable ones, the material on that is pretty thin, that I have gone through things before where something will get snagged on it, it'll cause a rip, and before you know it, stuffing is coming out. Well, this one, it's rugged, it's tough, and it's not going to tear on you. And then fourth, the main reason that really sold me on this jacket is that this is also fire resistant. No, I do not plan to test that. I think I'm cursed that no matter where I sit around the campfire, the smoke and embers will always come in my direction. Like, I can get up and move to the other side of the fire, and then the smoke and embers are like, oh, Asia's over there, and then go in my direction. It never fails. I have jackets now that have little tiny burn marks on the forearms because when I'm like starting a fire, obviously the embers and stuff will kind of fly and hit you, and I'm glad to have a jacket that I know will protect me from that. I wouldn't advise you to like jump through a ring of fire or have somebody hit you with a flamethrower, but it's good to know that you can sit around a campfire with this jacket and you'll be protected from all those embers that might land on you. Now, earlier I mentioned that I tend to gravitate towards jackets that have a more utilitarian type of look, but some of you don't even like that kind of look anyway. Some of you don't want to look tactical and you want something a little bit more simpler, something that you can wear kind of daily and can kind of wear with anything. And if you're that kind of person, the kind of person that subscribes to like that gray man mentality where you can just kind of blend in with everyone else, then this jacket is perfect. It's very unassuming. All of the branding that's on here, there isn't much. Like, you get one branding down at the bottom and it's very discreet. It's actually ghosted. You get a little patch here, and then the only other logo is basically inside right here where you're never going to see it. I do also like that it's black because this pretty much goes with any outfit that I wear. wear. So let's go over the jacket and I'll show you some of the features that are hidden in this thing. So let's start out with pockets. You do get a pocket here, which is super clutch for me because in this pocket, I use this pocket a lot, and oh my God, okay, I'm not even kidding you. This is how unassuming this jacket is. I didn't realize that there was also another pocket on the other side as well. I've had this for a month and I just now noticed there was another pocket there. I love pockets here, right? Because I like to stash my wallet, some cash, whatever here. It's harder to pickpocket me with my stuff up here versus like down in this area. On this side, I did put a zipper pull. They made it so inconspicuous that the zipper pulls in there tend to be a little bit small because it gets hidden like right in there. Kind of hard to fish out when I'm wearing thicker gloves. So I wanted something that I can basically just grab and pull down a lot easier. Now, I don't know if Teren Designs is looking for any kind of criticism or anything like that, but if they are, I would suggest just maybe like pulls here that makes it easier for us to open. You also get two pockets here that are also zippered. You get one on each side here. These are also very conspicuous. You'll see that they're not like the kind that, you know, the big boxy stuff, like you can barely even tell that they're in there. I barely use these pockets like at all. This is basically just for warming my hands. Now inside the jacket, you're gonna get these like two like net style kind of pockets, and they are expandable. I think Teren Designs did a test on these and they were able to fit like, I believe like a 6-pack on each side. So if you're the kind of person that wants to carry, you know, cans of beer or soda or whatever, it'll definitely fit in there. I don't really plan on using these pockets just because I don't want to put anything on there that creates bulge. Like I can probably put like an iPad in there and you'll never know that it's in there. So you're basically getting 6 total pockets with this jacket. 2 in the front, 2 at the top, and then these 2 inner ones here. Now continuing with the inside, this thing is lined with this like fabric and padding that just makes it so comfortable. It feels like I'm in a blanket or like in a really comfy sleeping bag. It feels really comfortable and very, very warm. I would say this is probably like a 2-season jacket, like a fall and winter jacket. If I were to give it like a temperature rating, I would say no less than 35-degree weather and no more than 55-degree weather. And you might say, that's it, just 35 degrees? I go to places like a lot colder than that. Well, that's my personal take from someone who lives in Florida and gets cold easily and also does not have a lot of what you might say natural insulation. Anything below 35 for me, I'm probably gonna have to put on a sweater and maybe some thermals underneath this to keep myself really warm. Your mileage might vary. You might just need this and like a t-shirt underneath and you are golden. Now the zippers on these, if you take a close look at it, it's actually lined with this waterproof kind of material, the same kind that they would use on bags that are meant to be waterproof. Once you zip this thing up, it creates a really tight waterproof seal. It just shuts everything down. No water is getting through there. I also like that there's this secondary fabric here, which is, you know, standard for basically jackets, right? But what they did that was a really nice touch is at the top, they put a different kind of fabric up here because this is meant to go all the way up to your mouth. And they put a different kind of fabric on here that's gonna be a little bit more comfortable when your mouth is on it. It's a nice softer fabric. It's probably gonna do you a lot better when it's resting against your face. Now the hood, I also love the hood too because once you put this thing on, it's not so big where air is still kind of getting in and circulating inside, but it's also not too small that it kind of hangs like only just like right here. Now here's a part that was really awesome, really great touch. As you guys know, with most jackets, you have those pull strings here, and when you pull it, the outside kind of cinches in and it kind of covers your eyes almost, right? Like it cinches up and you get this like little circle. They did something different with this jacket. On the very back here, there's a pull string, and when you pull that pull string, it doesn't close up around your face. It actually pulls in on the sides, and what that does is it takes the hood and collapses it to your cheeks but not around your eyes. So your eyes, you still get full visibility, but it closes up around your cheeks to protect your cheeks, your ears. It really protects you there, but then still gives you basically an openness up here so you could still see out. I really, really love that feature because I don't want my hood getting closed in around me. I just want it closed in right here and leave everything else pretty loose, which is also great, especially if you wear a ton of hats like I do. Now at the end of the sleeves, you'll see that there's also no elastic, there's no buttons, there's no buckles, which if you do a lot of air travel like I do, it is perfect because we go through TSA, and when you go through TSA, you got to take your jacket off, get to TSA, then put it back on. And a lot of my other jackets that have like the elastic and the buckles, they always get snagged on my watch. We've all done this where you're trying to get your jacket, you know, your watch is kind of stuck somewhere in the sleeve. I'm wearing the thickest watch that I have right now, which is the G-Shock, and this gets snagged a lot on my other jackets, but you see that? Like, not even a problem getting this on and off because of that reason. I thought I wasn't gonna like that. When I first got this jacket, I was like, oh, I wish I could cinch up the ends a bit because if it gets cold, I wanna be able to, I don't want air to kind of come through here. But after having used this in cold weather, wearing gloves and a watch, I realized that I like not having anything at the ends of these so I can slip this jacket on and off easier. Because the other part I can figure out, I can seal up this whole area just using my sweater and like gloves and kind of putting the gloves over the sweater and putting this over the gloves, and I'm good. That works out a lot better than having something that's just going to continue to get snagged on my gloves and my watches every time I try to put it on or take it off. There is a way to cinch up down here so that if you do want to close up that area a bit, and that'll kind of cinch up that area so you don't have any kind of cold air rushing through from the bottom, unless you like your bottom cold. Retail price for this, $399.95. Now, some of you might say, wow, that's pretty expensive for a jacket. No, it actually isn't. If you compare it to the bigger brand name jackets that are really popular but probably don't have as much tech as this. Some of those jackets can go like north of $700. I remember shopping for those bigger brand name jackets, thinking to myself, if I'm gonna spend $700 to $800 on a jacket, this thing better be able to go camping without me. $400 and you're basically getting a jacket that's not only wind resistant, fire resistant, water resistant, and tear resistant, you're also getting a jacket that basically will match anything that you wear. It's simple and unassuming, and you'll find that you're wearing it pretty much anywhere you go. You can stomp around town one day, go camping the next, and then get on a flight the day after that, and you're still wearing the same exact jacket because it basically crosses over into all those different kinds of environments. Teren really knocked it out of the park with this jacket. How simple it is, how unassuming it is, and yet it's jam-packed with tech, jam-packed with features, pockets where I need them. Teren, thank you guys so much for sending this over because this is truly like the perfect daily driver jacket. Go check out Teren Designs. They have a bunch of really great apparel, not just this jacket, but they have tech in their pants as well. And they also have like shorts and shirts and polos and things that also don't make you look like you're living in the woods. So go check out Teren Designs. I'm sure you'll find something that catches your eye that you might want to purchase for yourself. Until then though, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you smash, actually don't smash, zip up that like button, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell so we can let you be aware of new videos when they come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It gives you access to all of our videos before everyone else and gives you access to our live streams when we do them. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time.